stage at BlizzCon. It's possible. We've seen them on the big stage a couple of times, and let's be honest, Leftovers are on a big stage. They know how to showboat a little bit. All the dabs coming in and such.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind seeing them at BlizzCon as well, the biggest stage we have at the HGC.
Yeah, I mean, it would be great. I mean, Link already failed his dab miserably at the Western Clash. He can try and do the same.
Says the 90-degree angle Caldor dab. Let's go to Battleground number 2 here as the
you
map
could
is
have
ready
let
to
that
go.
slide, okay?
No, I will never
like
let that
80%
go.
of the people that are watching this have no idea, but you had to bring that up.
If you guys have a
Thank you.
chance,
No,
We're going to BOE for Leftovers, but
And yeah, Leftovers take BOE. That's the important
No, we're
thing.
talking about
That's
this.
really important at this point.
Heroes Esports wanted to take a picture of Caldor next to the trophy, I believe at the MSB, and they asked him to do something, and they were like,
That happened?
And he was like, what do you want to do? And they're like, we'll just do a dab. This guy does a 90-degree angle dab and throws his arms back. I call it the nosedive because of how far down he went on the dab. You gotta check out that picture.
I didn't know. I obviously didn't see it, and I asked them afterwards. That felt a bit weird. Was that okay? And they were like, yeah, of course, it was amazing.
It was perfect.
And half an hour later, I see the GIF on Twitter, and I'm like, are you serious? You uploaded that? You should have just asked me do it again and do it right.
I mean, in a way, it was perfect, right? It's the most Caldor thing, in all honesty. Just the most efficient dab possibly done
If you do it,
in
you
the
have to do
history
it
of the world.
efficiently. Maiev banned out by Fnatic immediately. Game number 2. Again, they're saying, no, not happening. But here comes the URL ban. And we are talking about Battlefield, and that's the map of the Leftovers. Just a second ago, it was Cursed Hollow. And we saw Fnatic on the map that they picked so many times, where they are stronger, the map that they prepared a special draft for the Leftovers, and then the Leftovers in the last and final move of the game. Turn it around, win map number 1, and now Fnatic has to prove it on Battlefield of Eternity that they're able to tie the series here.
Let's see if they can pull it off here. Genji comes in for a ban. Fnatic not willing to do that again, especially if they want to move it to a Sergeant Hammer. Leftovers on their side, what are they thinking about banning here? Do they want to get rid of the Hammer? Do they want to stay away from that? Or do you try to take out a tank that's important?
We go for Abathon.
Oh, fair enough.
And guys, once again, as we're heading into this, go to Twitter, #HGC, @Heroes Esports. Do you think Fnatic can recover? Do you think Fnatic is going to come back into this after just suffering a loss towards the end of game number 1? Or are the Leftovers now going to use their momentum to crush their spirits here?
Knowing the Leftovers, there is a good chance they're going to run with that momentum, so Fnatic needs to be a brick wall in an attempt to stop that. And they have already started with a solid pickup. Hanzo on BOE, instantly coming out for them, helping out with the Immortal race. They can build around that, maybe move into double tank, hold that front line here. Deckard and Diablo will come out for the Leftovers. Diablo a mainstay for Mopsio, and Deckard Kane for Linked.
And Fnatic willing to give that up. Fnatic actually looking at this and saying like, hey, we're going to give you Deckard Kane. I mean, Fnatic isn't stupid. As we said before, they prepared only for the Leftovers. They know fully well, if you go into that early Hanzo pick, that Diablo is immediately going to appear on the other side. And Deckard Kane is a very likely pick because it was a high priority for the Leftovers throughout Phase 2. And Linked loves to play Deckard Kane here. So they have Tyrande, they have Garrosh, and they feel that's going to be enough. But, whew.
If you do want a tank killer, this is a good foundation to do that. With Garrosh and Tyrande, immediate scoop into the juke, make sure you drop down the Lunar Flare, and then you find some damage to follow up afterwards. Hanzo will be appropriate enough, but you can maybe mix in a Tychus here if you really wanted to clear up that Diablo, so it is something that Fnatic can think about.
Tracer banned out. I mean, is that a surprise to us?
No.
Not after yesterday, not after this phase. DAB on that hero, when he has the space, is a beast. Dehaka's banned out, Blaze taken, so we have bans on Urel, we have bans on Dehaka, we have Blaze claimed, so a lot of the offlaners are gone. That leaves Fnatic with opportunities to go into Thrall, they have Leoric available, we've seen in the past some Malthael attempts as well. It's a tough one for them. A lot of the heroes that Last Hope usually relies on are gone.
I wouldn't mind the Leoric here. It would be helpful for what they have against the Leftovers. Would also be great just for Last Hope. Let's see if he could adjust it at all. He actually moves into a Thrall himself. Won't give you that in Ancestral Wrath, so at least you have some damage on top of Diablo. A little bit less more in your face against Diablo, but still some control. And Phoenix as their 5th pickup.
I feel it's going to be tough. Draft for Fnatic isn't horrible, but when I look towards the Leftovers, a lot of comfort picks, they Ming for reset potential. Fnatic a little bit more on the squishy side, but they are going full smoke at the front line. That could help. Having a Thrall here together with Garrosh. And a lot of damage to Phoenix and Hanzo in the back, but there's also a lot of squishies. And we have Greymane, great for the race against the Immortal and great to finish off Hanzo or Phoenix.
Also a character that can get out if he is thrown by Garrosh, and Tron doesn't quite land that Lunar Flare. You're able to cleave your way from the fight. So BOE here, looking over to. I actually think I like Leftovers draft a little bit more. I just feel like Fnatic's a bit squishy, and if Garrosh doesn't have heck of a game.
Leftovers look solid, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Looks like a very beefy draft.
Well-rounded.
Well-rounded, exactly. Like they have the poke potential, the through liming, Greymane as the finisher, the Immortal Race through Greymane too. I think rotations become incredibly important here. If you just somehow get like a few seconds, 3, 4, 5, where you're faster with the rotation towards an Immortal, especially the Leftovers with Greymane, can do so much work here. But then again, you have Hanzo, you have to run on the other side, so the same is true for Fnatic, I suppose. It's an important one. If you go 0-2 in the series, it's going to be tough to make the reverse sweep happen, but we've seen it before from both teams.
Yeah.
But game number 1 is definitely something that is still fresh in Fnatic's memory, so can they shake that off and tie the series now before we are heading into a first break? That's going to be the important question.
They, in the early game, need to be on point. Leftovers love to rush down mercenary camps, but one of the best things they also do on BOE and why they are so great on this battleground is they're great at constricting around the Immortal phase. So Fnatic needs to be able to open up their own space. Let's go ahead and go into it here. Game number 2, BOE. Leftovers is currently up 1-0 over Fnatic.
And Fnatic starting to the left with a Mena on Phoenix, and game number 2, Breeze playing Garrosh, Schwimpy in the second game on Hanzo, and of course Maxi finds himself on Duranda with Last Hope being on Thrall.
On the right, the Leftovers. DAB to play Lee Ming, Link on Deckard Cain, Mopsio on Diablo, Boss on Blaze, and Blakitney showing off the Greymane.
It's going to be a brutal series. We knew that from the get-go, and so far the Leftovers have secured themselves a hard-fought first win in game number 1. Fnatic, after for long periods of the first map dominating the battleground, lost it. And it's results that matter. It doesn't matter how good you looked on the map and how well you played. It's that 1-0 in favor of the Leftovers, that all that counts right now. And Fnatic has to prove on the map of the Leftovers, on Battlefield of Eternity, that they can force the tie here. But Leftovers are, of course, very, very eager to make this a quick 2-0, get a massive lead, and put Fnatic into a spot where they are going to crumble under the pressure.
But Fnatic, this is what they need to do. They need to find picks. Mopsio ready those shadow charges away, straight to a minion, and will survive. But at least Fnatic is showing some teeth. Breeze will have to be the one here that sets up a lot against the Leftovers if they want to tie up this series. I'm looking to him to be on point with the rotations. I need him to dive into that back line after 0-4, that Indomitable, and find targets that he can throw into Schwimpy, who's going to drop down that Hanzo arrow with the Spexy Lunar Flares.
Fnatic definitely has a draft that can dominate the Immortal Race and also the control of the camps if they make these snap decisions, and that's what they're trying to do here. DAB goes in, Link check the bush, Breeze is already there and is looking to see if he can maybe get someone. That's not quite the case, but it's a camp for a camp as we had Leftovers rotate topside and try and target Last Hope and the Khazra camp.
And they were hoping that Last Hope would come over and check that out. And if they did, they had Diablo already set up to rotate over and attempt to get a kill, but Last Hope does not bite.
You know that comms are at this point. Diablo is missing. We don't know where Mopsio is. Make sure that you don't overstep here. And Mena made the rotation because he knows how much pressure Greymane in particular can push onto those towers. So they react right away while still attempting to push at the bot lane. But Fnatic rotates top now.
Next big pickup will be the Bruiser camp on the right. Breeze already over here, showing Mopsio that he is here to fight if he needs to. That should be popping in about 15 to 20 seconds. Mopsio actually behind Mena and crew here as he's looking to go in for his own play. I'm wondering if Greymane's going to come too. Yes, Greymane is right above here. Mopsio, Superman's away, just barely shadow charging out.
Immediately away here. Mopsio is terrifying on that hero, and Fnatic knows it, but they were willing to give Diablo over to claim that early pick Hanzo and to make sure that they have the pressure on the Immortal. They're gonna try to look for Blakitney in a lot of these fights. If they can burst down Greymane, that would be great for them. Depends all on the positioning that we'll see on the side of the Wolf. Leftovers now with the earlier level 4, the Immortal spawning. And the one thing that the Leftovers, which is perfectly against Method, is they always made sure that they had a lead in experience, that they had a talent advantage heading into the objective, and that's something that they will try to pull off again against Fnatic.
You see it here. They go straight in for a turret. It's a small amount of experience, but it's enough to keep them having that slight lead that you were talking about. I love holding that, especially here on BOE. Fnatic has to come over and respawn.
It's a great defense for Fnatic though. Fnatic is actually defending up at the top side against the camp with 3 heroes, but at the bottom we only have Blaze, so that allows Fnatic to get some extra damage against the Immortal in early on with Hanzo.
Small amount of damage, but useful. Hanzo's gonna back up. Smexy as well here.
But here's that rotation.
Yep. Fnatic right on top of it. If Greymane can start to cleave through here in melee form, he will destroy that thing. Lakitni crushing it as quickly as possible. Mopsio will get tossed into a stun, into a Lunar Flare, but able to back up and get healed.
What a great play by Breeze again. Sees the stun circle and immediately goes for Diablo and manages to throw him in. The follow-up of Smexy is there, but still Leftovers about to win the halftime show. That early rotation has done wonders for them. And Mopsio not dying, but tanking all the damage, allowed the rest of the team to get the pressure against the Immortal.
But the only thing you need is time when you have a Hanzo on your team, and time is what they will get thanks to the damage they put on top of Diablo, and Fnatic is able to close that gap. But we're going to halftime show. Close. Finally, a full combo on Diablo, and Fnatic performs the 1-2 punch.
Goes in, takes 2 down, but the counter action against Breeze, not getting a kill just yet, but Boss is still on the job, and so is Lakitni. They're trying to get the kills. The Leftovers still fighting here as Fnatic is looking to reset. Diablo going down quickly in that engage, but of course he is at this point only at 27 souls.
Going into level 7 though, Fnatic needs to be careful they don't get into a situation very similar to what we just saw. Sure, they were able to kill off Diablo, but they grouped up and took a big orb to the face. And if that happens again,
with Calamity,
yeah, that's going to be a couple of kills instantly. Leftovers was willing to keep moving forward. Remember, Diablo, with him getting his soul stacked up, is going to become tankier. So Fnatic, while that's a good play there, needs to be wary moving on later on.
If Li Ming gets a chance to bunny hop with Calamity throughout the entire team, one after another there, then it's going to be a disaster for Fnatic. They're definitely going to make sure to not clump like this in later fights. But now it's the pressure play topside. How much can Fnatic get? The wall would be a good start.
Pretty quick clear here from a Leftovers.
7's are in.
It's not going to be a 4. We've been seeing a lot of force picked up on the first Immortal, but Fnatic unable to push forward. Mopsio gets in for a combo. It's going to be on top of Breeze here. Breeze gets some damage on the front line. DAV goes in for that Calamity, but Breeze is able to back out. But Leftovers showing some teeth. With 7 coming online, they feel like their fight potential goes up dramatically. But over to Fnatic, their race potential jumps up. That scatter arrow finally coming in for Hanzo.
You can really see how much pressure Leftovers have against Garrosh too. I mean, they really chunked Breeze down so quickly. And once that Greymane comes online with all of this extra burst damage later on after the level 10, it's going to be fantastic. 16, of course, another big spike when it comes to that percentage damage. And that's what they're going to be looking for. We have some burst from Fnatic too. The Ancestral Wrath is really helping with it. And of course, that AoE with the salvo later for Phoenix can be a game changer here. But still, this is such a close game already.
I also like the aggression towards Garrosh from Mopsio, showing that they're willing to blow him up, but because also that can change at level 10. When Greymane gets that go for the throat that you were talking about, if they do want to go Curse Bullet, they can blow up Garrosh, but if they go for the throat, they can change their targets in the middle of a team fight. Immediately go for the back line and delete one of those, and suddenly Garrosh is alone by himself.
You're absolutely correct. And I feel he's going to go for the throat, but as you said, Curse Bullet, you can make arguments for it too. It depends on who you want to target. Who's going to be the one hero that you want to eliminate? If you want to burst through that front line, then going for the bullet would be a fantastic tool to poke away and set that kill up. But of course, with several squishes in the back line, talking squishes, DAB goes down a little bit too squishy here as Fnatic is not playing around. They get the second kill and they set themselves up for the Immortal race number 2.
Breeze understanding the responsibility they has for this team on top of that Garrosh. He has to find these kills. Very still-like, very Cobra-like, as he waited for Leftovers to rotate out and then came forward and got Li Ming, picked her off, and Fnatic will be able to jump up on the Immortal race. They do some decent damage while Leftovers step up.
Exactly. Breeze sitting there, step up or shut up, and he definitely moves forward and looks for these kills. But now Li Ming is back, and both of the teams, level 9.5 nearly for them. A slight lead for Fnatic in the Immortal race. They take their own camp. It's delayed, while we have Thrall already defending the top. Breeze the only one anchoring their own Immortal. This is about level 10s, this is about heroic abilities, and this is maybe even the most important Immortal in this game.
That's right, the first team, 210, can snap. Both have the ability to force a fight. You look over to the Leftovers, Diablo can just shadow charge in, jump onto a target. Look over to Fnatic, if Garrosh can find an angle of flank, he can pull anybody in, Diablo himself. Leftovers, working on trying to get that 10, but they didn't get any damage on the Immortal.
And you just saw it on the minimap, by the way. Thrall even moving behind the fort. There was no one topside, but they didn't have vision.
Yeah.
They didn't know where the Leftovers were, so he moves all the way back. He says, like, I'm not gonna get picked here. That's not happening. My only job is to get the experience. The arrow connects on Greymane. They're going for Mopsio, and Mopsio is dead again. He just disappears from the map.
the scoop and dupe here as Fnatic continues to find these kills. Fnatic instantly rotating over. They're going to drop down these arrows as quickly as they can on the Immortal, trying to get specs there for the 100 mark as well. Breeze coming over. He has another combo. Boom! There it is on top of Pony Boss. He'll drop down the bunker and try to back up while the rest of the team jumps in. Look, he finds a swipe and gets a kill. Lasto looks to be next. DAB trying to find a reset.
They're trying to go for Pony Boss. Yeah, great kill against Breeze, and that's all that damage. We talked about this earlier, how much they are able to threaten Breeze at the front, and even in the 4 versus 5, we see the leftovers get the kill. And once again, the series is intense. No damage on Fnatic's Immortal just yet, but the leftovers are fighting tooth and nail for every single inch of the map.
But they have to fight for the Immortals. Fnatic has a clear lead on the second Immortal of the game. Swiffy trying to fire off some scatter arrows. Finally, they get Greymane on top of that Immortal, but that gives time for Fnatic to have all 5 spawn. And in about 5 seconds, there's going to be a Dragon's Arrow. Fnatic can force a fight. Leftovers have to spread out and be careful.
Breeze is back and he has his taunt ready, and he's looking for it. They're going for Mopsio again. The taunt is in to run with a stun, and Mopsio is low, but he's not falling. He dies finally, but the counter kill attempt at the backline. Thrall is dead as Li Ming gets the reset and goes in again. Leftovers always with the answer here, but Fnatic is transforming Diablo into a punching ball, just going down on Diablo, fight after fight after fight. A flip, a stun, a taunt, and the follow-up through the rest of the team are eliminating Mopsio over and over again on his strongest hero.
And he's pretty tanky too. He's sitting at about 78 souls, which means he's feeling pretty solid there. And he will, on the next phase, probably have all for 100 souls. They can find a reset, that'd be great for them. But they do find a Greymane all by his lonesome, and he gets picked off as Fnatic continues to deliver 5-2 in kills, and Immortal pushing in the bottom lane.
Great attempt by Blakini to get away here, and it looked really good. He moved out, he tried to dodge the arrow, was successful in that, but there were too many stuns, and now Fnatic is trying to carry the momentum, as you already said. The pain train is coming, and it has home in on the bot lane. Mopsio is back on Diablo, and he's going to be looking to flip someone to create an opportunity here, but there's also Breeze, and Breeze has been carrying his team in so many times. He knows when to step up, he knows how to play the tank, he knows how to look for these kills, and he's looking for them again. Can he create the opportunity?
Another groundbreaker. The Immortal will push back in the leftovers. Leftovers trying to put the damage they can on the Immortal, trying to save their keep, and they will save the keep. Fnatic about to hit level 13. The leftovers right behind them by about half a level. They can soak up and certainly be in the same talent tier on the next Immortal phase.
5 kills against 2. Fnatic is looking strong and have taken a slight lead here, but they still have the memory of the last game when they were able to always take the initiative, and then the leftovers win the one decisive fight. And if there's one team that can play from behind, that knows when to seize an opportunity, it's the leftovers, and they're going to look for that opportunity. Fnatic is coordinating their attacks really well, but one misstep and the leftovers will be there.
The leftovers do, man. They pounce on mistakes, they clear them up, and they get victories for it. They've done it time and time again this entire HGC phase. Right now they wait, they play defensively, waiting for their level 13, wait for that moment to strike, but you can tell they're ready for it. They're coiled up, they're ready to move in for any engage. They're waiting for Fnatic to make said mistake, as that 13 is finally coming in for them.
And Fnatic can't play passive either. You can't do that against the leftovers. You have to seize the opportunities that you have, and you have to run with advantages. They're sieging up a little bit here at the top lane. They're trying to bait them into a fight over the camp, but now it's, again, time to wait for the Immortal. Time to see if you, again, find an isolated hero somewhere on the map that you can take down. And camps are already taken. Vision granted by Snexy. They know what's up here. Adjustments even in Talons. Level 13 on Thrall, going to the spell shield here, making sure that they can survive a bit more through those pokes that we see from Li Ming. DAB is always looking for kills, and he is the one who usually finds them too.
Illusion's definitely going to help out there. Shadow Charge coming online here for Diablo at level 13, trying to stack that up and help out with the damage of the fight if he can find any room to wiggle, because he hasn't been able to move in these last couple of fights.
10 more seconds and the next Immortal is on the map, and we have even Talents again. Once more, the teams are setting this up. A slight advantage for Fnatic in structures on the map, but there is no real advantage in Talents. And this is the leftovers with Diablo now fully stacked at that front line. Mopsio saying, okay boys, took me down 3 times, and now I'm fully stacked. Try and do it again, I just dare you.
First time in the series
well,
here. Oh no, Mopsio toss, Lunar Flare, he has that Lightning Breath. Big Talk coming out too. Mopsio trying to kite away, he will survive, but he's down to 1/4 HP.
That was a little bit ambitious. I was just about to praise him for his survivability once he stacked, but he went really deep in that spot.
I mean, there wasn't even a Thrall there either. If Thrall had the additional damage in, or the Ancestral Wrath right on top of him, he probably would have fallen there.
Uh-oh, there's the stun. Bunker is being forced out, but now they're going for Breeze. The salvo's coming through though, and this one hurts.
Sabo low, getting some decent damage in there. DAB's able to get away. Link by himself, kiting forward. He does not stay a while. Listen, Lightning Breath used to zone out Fnatic, but Fnatic will take the time to hit the Immortal.
Nearly all the ults have been used already, and they're going in again. Mobstio needs to be careful. He's already dropping in HP. Breeze creating a little bit of space for the team here, as Shrimpy is continuing to poke. Fnatic moving down to the bottom 4 to reset. They want to tap at the fountain, and Leftovers have to go all the way into the mid lane. That gives Fnatic access to the Immortal. Those are those 3 to 5 seconds that we mentioned at the beginning. Bam! That is all that Fnatic needs to get the halftime show.
They have the halftime show and they have a full health Immortal. They can play this slow. Mobstio with the tap is starting to step forward here, looking for a combo. He will find a Thrall by himself. Lunar Flare comes in. Mobstio will get locked down, but they're back on defense, playing slow here. But there is a taunt for Garrosh.
There's a taunt for Garrosh, and it's a good position for the Immortal now. From Fnatic's perspective, they can try and poke around here. They can try and create that opportunity again, and they do against Boss. Pody who? He's down. Blaze is dead.
Breeze is just crushing anyone that he can pick off with Smexy there, always following up the Lunar Flare. Shrimpy will be the target. He jumps out with a natural agility. Blakitty by himself should be able to Dark Flight out. There we go. He escapes, but Leftovers are still losing this Immortal race.
Leftovers are currently trying to hold that position. They hold the choke point.
Here comes the combo. Breeze.
Breeze gets pushed into the Immortal stun. The arrow comes out. Hanzo is down in back lane. Blakitty with a great kill, but he himself is in trouble. The Stale While Listen coming out again. The Lightning Breath as we see Mobstio coming in deep. Breeze moving in. Thrall down. Leftovers turning it around again.
How are they doing this? Mana by himself on the bottom left is able to get out thanks to the warp. Linked on the back left. Blakitty dodging out on a Lunar Flare. DAP has no mana. Breeze is trying to carry this game all by himself. Mobstio on the back left gets a little bit of healing here. Goes straight in for Mana too, but doesn't quite have that second shadow charge. Mobstio will fall, and Fnatic stops the Leftovers.
Mobstio is down and loses the souls, and Breeze with the big boy pants here once again saving his teammates. The race is on again. The Leftovers somehow managed to basically win a 4 versus 5, but can they take the Immortal? They are all there. Mobstio is chipping in as well.
Close.
It's a race and it's a big one. Fnatic is close, but it is the Leftovers that take the objective.
Just barely. With a 4v3 with no Hanzo being available, Greymane was able to scratch its way into a lead, and that was a massive lead that Fnatic naturally had. The Leftovers are still in this game. They are a team that if you do not pick them off and you find massive advantages, they will slowly crawl their way back into the game, and now they can play for level 16.
It's unbelievable that they were able to get those kills. Blakitty just playing out of his mind right now, getting that kill in the backline against Shrimpy, who was already low, but even before that, pushing him to the limit. 7 kills against 4. Fnatic with a 16. Leftovers now grabbing it too. What a second game.
And this is when Diablo gets terrifying. Level 16 comes online now. He's going to be able to have the beautiful talent domination here where he gets an extra shadow charge, which if we have another situation where
Breeze.
Phoenix is against the wall, they can find the picks. Breeze stepping up. He finds a Groundbreaker, looking for Link. He will toss him.
The taunt is there. The follow-up isn't though. The salvo comes out, but they're low already, and Thrall is down. Last Hope dying again. Also the damage on Diablo, but again Fnatic is on the run. The late game is where the Leftovers shine right now, and they're trying to go for a kill against Shrimpy. Again, the bunker already on the ground here. Breeze trying to get a little bit of space. DAP about to fall, but he survives. Goes into the bunker, but Diablo is dead.
One pick.
Diablo
both teams here.
Have the souls.
He can't stay alive. He's too squishy right now. 25 souls for him. Leftovers have to back away. Shrimpy getting a couple scatter arrows in, but again, it's a 1-for-1 trade overall. Both teams walk away, and all they have to do is focus on their minions here. Maybe get those mercenary camps pushed out. They're setting up for the next Immortal phase.
What a game. 16s are in the Alpha Wolf on Thrall. That alone, such a fantastic talent for the damage output here. At the same time, you look over to Greymane, the executioner on his part. The damage output from those backliners is absolutely fantastic. The tank battle that we're seeing. Breeze just doing so much. He's doing so much work here, so many kills. And Diablo, Mobstio's fantastic on the hero, but he's really struggling with all the focus that is on him. Fnatic just is on the same page. Whenever Breeze says, boys, this is the target is called, and everybody collapses on him.
What's more impressive is that typically when you go into late game, Garrosh has a harder time getting in the engages he wants. Usually he gets killed off a little bit better because you're in those 5v5s, but Breeze is still finding those moments. Now with that 16 coming online for Greymane though, I'm looking for Blakitty to continue excelling as well. The Executioner will be great to follow up here, Protector Kane. Also Diablo with that Lightning Breath. The additional damage may give him the amount that he needs to finish some kills.
I mean, we talk about Greymane and his 3 kills, his damage, but he's also creating, together with the rest of the team, so much space for DAB. DAB has so much space here to get those combos in, and he's doing the best he can. But again, it comes down to another even talent fight, and a big one at that. This could mean a keep, whoever gets this. And both of the teams sharking around, looking for the opportunity. Shrimpy already jumping away as he sees Mopsy, and he's saying like, yeah, I'm not going to get stunned into this wall. This ain't happening.
Mopsy was a half a second away from getting that shadow charge off, just barely missing out on it. Good heads-up play by Shrimpy to get out.
They're going to race to the halftime show.
Oh, they were just baiting it. They start the damage, so Lefters come down. They want to fight on this more. They go in. Shrimpy is down. There's one. Reset Lightning Breath next as Breeze gets slowed down. DAB looking for the combo. Here's the tie as Breeze tries to stay alive.
And he goes down. The stay while listen to the backline is isolating the rest. What a fantastic fight again by the leftovers. They go in. They get 3. They drop Phoenix. Great play here also by DAB, who once again during the fight got the resets and used especially the wave of force to create kill opportunities against Breeze. What a great fight for the leftovers.
The leftovers will keep coming at you time and time again. What separates them from a lot of teams that attempt to do that type of strategy is they mitigate their losses if they start to lose a team fight. They know when to back up and come at you again a couple minutes later. And finally, they find the couple of kills they were looking for to get a clear advantage in the Immortal.
Shrimpy thought he was safe.
Yeah.
He thought he was safe. He was sitting there and he's saying, I can get that damage in. And Diablo charges in. Mopsio just throws caution into the wind and says, screw this, I'm gonna get him. And he just barely holds on to him, pushes him into the back of the team, and the team does the rest. And now we have an Immortal pushing through that bot lane. Fnatic is behind an experience all of a sudden. It's 8 kills against 8. We're 20 minutes in. And this is the moment when the leftovers are saying, how much can we get out of this? We're going to get that fort. That's a no-brainer. Can we get the keep? Can we get more?
I have a sneaky suspicion that Mopsio is Frank Castle. He will find a way to punish you. He'll take a couple of hits here and there, but eventually he'll be the one to find you and he will take you out. The leftovers with an Immortal, a 5-unit team ready to push in here in the bottom left, and they want to keep Breeze on the outskirts trying to hold this front line.
Checking the bush here already, the wave of force again. DAB trying to create an opportunity for the team. Didn't quite work out, but the experience in the hands of the leftovers is just running rampant at this point. The Immortal already starting to get low, and Fnatic is chunking away at it slowly but steadily. They want to save the core. They know the keep is a goner, but can they save the game? 20 is there for the leftovers, and the leftovers are on the move.
20 stepping up. Lakini straight on top of the core. He wants that gray main damage. The Immortal popping here too. Lightning Breath used. Bunker to jump in the last second. Breeze comes forward. He wants to be able to find another engage. Link providing the potions. The leftovers wanting to take the series and go up 2-0. Can Fnatic stop it? It's looking like it's gonna be a no as the leftovers go up 2-0 over Fnatic in the playoffs.
Insane. Absolutely insane.
You cannot let up against the leftovers. Fnatic has found themselves time and time again. Breeze is straight up giving kills to his teammates and set them up for Immortals, but if there is any edge available for the leftovers, they will pounce forward and they find it in the late game time and time again.
Breeze needs a Santa Claus skin for Garrosh. Like, he literally just wrapped kills as presents and handed them over, and they got them over and over again. And then that last fight, killing 3, getting the Immortal, and leftovers. A small opportunity, and they immediately say, core. We go core right now. I don't care. Greymane, you jump in, I go on top of you, and I use the Lightning Breath. They won't be able to target you. It was fantastic play by them. They need to go on Greymane. He's the biggest threat in the entire setup, outside of the Immortal itself. He chunks structures down. And what happens? Mopsio moves right on top of him, makes him nearly untargetable, uses the Lightning Breath and say, you attack, I'll zone whoever is trying to get on you. And there was just nothing that could be done from Fnatic's perspective anymore. Great games from Fnatic.